Hey guys, welcome to this review of the UK mobile network EE. So ever since Orange merged with T-Mobile to make EE, it has been one of the big four mobile networks here in the UK. So I decided to try them out for myself for 12 months, and I wanted to give you my thoughts on this major UK mobile network. And I'll also try and explain its pricing structure to help you decide if this mobile network is right for you. Okay, so when it comes to pricing, E offer two main options. So you can either go for pay-as-you-go, so that's where you top up each month and you get a certain amount of texts, data, and calls, or you can of course go for a contract. So you can go pay monthly, with either going pay monthly on a 1 month length, a 2 month length, or a 12-month length. Now, if you go for a 1 month plan, that will recur every month. So, of course, you won't have to renew it, unlike with pay-as-you-go, where you have to top up each month. So when it comes to pricing on EE, there are really two main categories. So there's pay-as-you-go pricing. So here are the prices for pay-as-you-go. And there is also pay monthly pricing. So, of course, with pay monthly, you will have to undergo some credit checks, even with the 1 month rolling plans. So, if you don't want to undergo those checks, or you don't want something that involved, then you can go for the pay-as-you-go plan. Now, there is some difference in the allowances that you'll get with these two different options. So, if you go for the pay-as-you-go option, you can see here, if you compare these two, if you look through the prices, overall, pay-as-you-go is usually better value. However, it does depend on your use case, and we'll get a bit more into those specifics in a minute. However, of course, it does depend on whether you want to sign a contract. Now, one of these major factors is the speeds that you'll get. So, with pay-as-you-go, you have a speed limit of 25 megabits per second. So as you can see on the website, it actually tells you that very upfront. So that's nice from EE. However, that is not as fast as some of the options you can get on pay monthly. So there are three tiers when it comes to pay monthly speeds. So you can get their basic speed, as you can see here, which is 10 megabits per second. You can get excellent speed, which is 100 megabits per second maximum. Or you can go for the uncapped speeds, which is marketed as their best speed. Or our best speed. Now, it depends on where you live, whether this might be worth it for you, and also your use case. So if you're living in London, for example, and you can get 5G speeds and much faster speeds, then of course it might be more worth it to go for a slightly more expensive plan with faster speeds. However, if you're living somewhere a bit more rurally, then maybe it isn't really the best idea to buy a plan for the fast speeds, because you're just not going to achieve them if you're living somewhere more remote, because the speeds just aren't there. Now, of course, you could buy one of these plans just because you need a certain amount of data. However, you can actually buy a more basic plan, which actually comes with unlimited data. So it only costs 30. So the unlimited tier for £30 per month will only get you the basic speed. However, for many people, I think that might be enough. And if you aren't really getting the best coverage or speeds to start with, then maybe you're willing to limit yourself to 10 megabits per second. Now, just to confuse things a little bit when it comes to pay-as-you-go pricing, you can get 10% off if you decide to sign up for monthly card payments. So basically, if you subscribe to this, then however much you pay for your pay-as-you-go pack per month will be debited out of your account via a direct debit. And you will get your pack every month, and it will recur without you having to top up manually. So that does save a bit of time, and it also does get you that nice 10% discount. However, of course, if you do have privacy concerns when it comes to giving your details, maybe you don't want to do that, but it is something to consider if you are paying by card. Now, personally, I used a £10 pay-as-you-go plan during the time that I was using EE, and I didn't actually sign up for those recurring top-ups. However, it does offer better value for money, so of course if you do want to use card payments, then I think I would recommend you to sign up to those recurring payments. However, I was actually topping up using cash, so I can't really sign up for those recurring payments. Now, EE has a few perks depending on what kind of plan you have with them. So for pay monthly plans, you can either get a no-frills plan, which doesn't have any added extras. So for pay monthly plans, you can get a no-frills plan, which doesn't have any inclusive extras. Now, if you go for an essentials plan, then you can get some perks. So one of them is data gifting. So this allows you to give your family members some data if you have multiple lines with EE. And these plans also offer stay connected data. So basically, this allows you to continue to connect to the internet even after you run out of data. However, you'll only be connected on a slower 0.5 megabit per second speed. So that is rather slow, and you won't be able to get much done with it. However, it is a nice addition to maybe allow you to send maybe one WhatsApp message to somebody you need to contact. Just things in case of an emergency. And of course, hopefully you don't have to resort to using this feature. However, it might be a nice to have. Now, you get free inclusive extras if you go with a full works SIM. Now, if you go for a 12-month or 24-month plan, you can get free inclusive extras if you go with a full works SIM, or one inclusive extra if you go with an all-rounder SIM. So overall, if you're a fan of perks, it's probably better to go for one of the full works or all-rounder SIMs. And it would be nice if EE would give more of these inclusive extras to people who are paying up to like £35 for unlimited data on 1 month rolling. And overall, EE definitely could be doing better when it comes to pay monthly extras. Now, when it comes to perks for pay-as-you-go customers, there are a few. So one of the major ones is free boosts. So basically, with free boosts, for every second pack you purchase, you get a 500 megabyte free boost, and you can get up to 6 free boosts overall, so you can collect these for up to 12 months. And these are cumulative, so overall you can get up to 3 gigabytes of extra data per month. So another perk is data rollover. So with data rollover, you can use the data that you didn't use from the previous month. And this does not include your free boosts, sadly. So that's just your standard allowance from the previous month. Now, one thing you could view as a benefit or a perk when it comes to pay-as-you-go is the ability to use your SIM without having to register for an account or give your card details, and just being able to top up with cash in a shop which does top-ups, which is the majority of shops. And of course, it's quite old-fashioned to be topping up with cash. However, it's nice to have the option, and it's nice to just be able to ask for a top-up and pay in cash and not have to give over your card details. Now, when it comes to roaming on pay-as-you-go, you have to pay £2.50 to access your allowance in the EU for a day, or you can pay £10 for 7 days of access. Now, if you're on pay monthly, it's a bit of a different story. So when it comes to pay monthly, you have to pay £2.29 per day, and that's a little bit less than how much you would pay with pay-as-you-go. However, there isn't an option to pay for 7 days of access, but you can pay for a roaming pass, which gives you access to your allowance in the EU, as well as the USA, Canada, Mexico, Australia, and New Zealand. You can get this for free as one of your inclusive extras on your contract, or if that isn't an option on your contract, you will sadly have to pay quite a steep amount at £25 per month, which is quite a fair chunk of change to pay just to be able to access your data, calls, and texts, which you have already paid for. And honestly, I think paying so much for roaming probably isn't worth it, and most people who are in a foreign country for a longer period should look into maybe considering a domestic network in that country instead of relying on roaming more long term. Personally, I have only roamed on EE once, and that was in Munich in Germany on my pay-as-you-go plan. However, that was in November of last year, before the EU roaming charges were introduced for pay-as-you-go customers. However, apart from that, the roaming did work, and the speeds were what I would expect from a city like Munich. Overall, I found the coverage of EE to be better than the other 3 major mobile networks I have tried. And although I have only tried Vodafone on their budget provider Voxy, coverage should be rather similar either way. And overall, EE does have the best 4G and 5G coverage. And also, according to Root Metrics, it also has the best 4G speeds. So I'm quite happy with the speeds that the EE gave me. I couldn't really gather much on 5G speeds with EE. Some sources were saying that 3 was beating it out on speed. However, because I was using a pay-as-you-go plan, I couldn't really assess it for myself. Given that EE does not provide 5G speeds to pay-as-you-go plans. So I found switching to and away from EE to be fine, although I did have to call EE because the automated system for inputting a pack code broke for me. However, it only took a few minutes to resolve and was not much of a hassle. As always, I will remind you to text PACK to 65075 if you want a switch over with your phone number and shut down your account with your previous provider, or you can text STAC to 75075 if you don't want to transfer your phone number over. And you, of course, don't want to get those 2 numbers mixed up. So please remember which one you are texting. So customer service is something that I touch on in every one of my mobile network reviews. And when it comes to EE, I actually did have some interaction with their customer service. So it was overall quite positive. I only had to wait 5 minutes before speaking to an actual human, and they could quite quickly request my phone number to be transferred over, and also explained what went wrong when I was trying to enter my pet code into the system. Anyway guys, thank you for watching. Like, subscribe and share. If you enjoyed this review, you can of course check out the other videos in my mobile network review series. And of course, you can like, subscribe, and share. And check out my website, sandrolinux.com, if you want to see some of my blog posts, or if you just want to go and see some of my latest videos. Anyway, thank you guys for watching once again, and goodbye.